Hello guys, this is Spicy Blocks and today I'm doing a comparison between the Bandai Real Grade Gunpla versus the Bandai High Grade Gunpla. So on the left we have the Gundam Ashtray, a Real Grade. This is the Ashtray Red Frame and here's from the Gundam C Ashtray Universe. I don't know the proper pronunciation, it's maybe Astray, like a straight animal or something. Yeah, maybe that's it. And on the right, we have the Iron-Blooded Orphans version of the Gundam Astaroth Origin. And they're actually both from side stories, not from the original story. So if you watch Gundam C, you're not going to see this guy. I think this guy is only from the manga. And same with this guy right here. It's only from the Iron-Blooded Orphan manga, so you won't see them in the anime series. But anyway, let's talk about the differences. Now, you'd be surprised to know that the real grades here, this one only cost me about 26 bucks. And this guy cost me around, 15, 17 bucks. And the price difference is like $10, $10 to $12 tops. But the real grade, you get so much more. Look at all these details. Now I did a small amount of panel lining on this guy, but I think like a straight build out of the box. You probably don't even need to do anything with these real grades because they just have so many parts and the part separation are just simply amazing. So like a straight build would result in a very fine looking model kit. And they're both 1144 scale. Yeah, the 1144 scale. So they stand around 5 inches. And you can see the amount of detail on these real grades are exquisite. Now I started out suggesting that everybody should avoid high grades because real grades are hands down the best. Now, in terms of look, they are the best. But, the real grades, the line itself, there isn't many, fan favorites in the line. I think they only made about like 50 real grades, while they have thousands and thousands of high grades out there. So chances are, if you're looking for a real grade, like the Barbatos, it doesn't exist. There's no real grade Barbatos. There's no real grade Astaroth. So, you're in a fan of a newer Gundam series, you won't find them in real grade. And and also the real grades takes a long time to build. I mean, this guy took me literally 14 hours from start to finish. I did all the decals. The decal itself took about like two hours. So it's a lot of work. Well, something like the real grade, these are pretty simple. I did a panel lining, I did the stickers, and I even did some very small amount of paint details on this guy. And it took me only about 3 hours from start to finish. So yeah, they're relatively quick. Now, in terms of durability, I think the real grades are a little bit flimsy because they have so many parts. So when you pose them, you want to be a little bit careful. Some of the little parts might fall off. And, if they fall off in the wrong place, you're going to have a problem finding them. So that makes a little bit of a problem if you like to, do some stop motions or, pose these guys. And with the high grades, their parts are actually a lot bigger. And they do have very small parts from time to time, but you won't find a lot of small parts on the high grades. So if you drop something, you're going to be able to find it and be able to put it back together relatively easy. And in terms of durability, I would say the high grades a little bit better because, they use larger parts, so they can stand up and pose pretty well. While the real grades, you get more articulation. But like I said before, they have a lot of small parts, so you just got to be careful with the small parts. The articulation is like very similar to the master grades. So you get a very high amount of articulation. You can do a lot of very interesting poses with these real grades figures compared to the high grade. So yeah, the only other thing I would suggest is that if you're gonna go with the real grade, make sure you go with the Gundam frame, because it seems like Bandai designed the inner frame only specifically for the Gundams. And the smaller inner frame seems to be able to hold on to all these armor pieces, armor bits. Okay, now if you get something like large, like the Sinanju, or maybe like a Zigok, stuff's gonna fall off because they use the same inner frame for something that's twice its size. I'm pretty sure you know what's gonna happen. Like if you watch my review on the Sinanju, stuffs are just falling all over the place. I mean that kit, while it look amazing, it's pretty much completely useless in terms of posing and stuff like that. Yeah, so with the Sinanju, I would recommend just going with the high grade. Even though you miss out on the detail, at least you can do something with the high grade, like pose it and put it in dynamic poses, while the real grade one just gonna sit there on your table and just something nice to look at. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I might actually get some more real grades and build them if I have time, and then I'll do more comparison. I want to do a comparison on something like 1-to-1 instead of comparing this guy to a different Gundam. I might actually pick up a high grade Astray and compare the real grade to the high grade and let you guys see the 1-to-1 difference. And that's pretty much it. I hope you guys found these videos useful. I'm still kind of new to the whole Gunpla thing. I was a fan like maybe 20 something years ago, but a lot has changed. Even the high grade looks 100 times better than what I seen in the 90s. I mean, if I have something like this in the 90s, I will be super happy. And the real grades are just blowing my mind. I'm like, wow, you can put all that detail into something in this scale. That's just absolutely mind-blowing. But, it does have its problems. It is what it is. So, hope you guys find this video useful. And thanks for watching.